missed their first win than he would have been had he not been there.
Right.
But he will not be with us tonight on the show. So we'll talk a little bit about the girls basketball, what we know of it, and then, of course, they got one more game before the break. Tomorrow night, we're making up the game with Osceola that was canceled last Friday night due to the weather conditions. And that game will be varsity only tomorrow night, girls and boys, starting at 5:30. So the girls at 5:30 tomorrow night with the boys to follow, and our Redettes fresh off their first victory of the year, and we certainly hope that Coach Gabakovich is able and ready to go tomorrow night, but I don't know. I mean, it sounds like he's in pretty rough shape.
Yeah, it kind of sounds that way. I know they had talked to Coach Reed. He was there Monday night to help because they didn't think Kovach was going to be there at all. So him and Coach Moore were going to run the show, but Kovach showed up anyway. And so I don't know who they'll have to stand in if Kovach can't make it.
Well, maybe surely Reed's on standby for tomorrow night.
I would think so. He was there for the first one.
I mean, there's the Wolverines aren't playing football tomorrow night, right? So he should be fine.
No, I don't think so.
And so the Redettes 5:30, the varsity boys then to follow that tomorrow night. The final games before the winter break. And on the show tonight, Coach Matt Krusich will be on to talk Big Red basketball. The Big Reds 4-3 on the season after a couple of losses here. We'll try to bounce back tomorrow night against Clark. We went over to Mount Pleasant last night, and actually at times it didn't look too bad. It's a very good Mount Pleasant basketball team. The Big Reds were down 9.5 and ended up losing by 25. But Coach Krusich will get his thoughts on last night's game. And I know Ken, I don't know if you've had a chance to visit with him much of late, or Josh, I know when he's in here, you guys chat. He's still a little concerned about this Clark team. They're much improved, and he thinks that, I think what he's worried about is whether or not the boys are going to take him for real, because this is a Clark basketball team that's very capable.
Oh, very capable. I thought they were much more improved last year. The couple times that we saw them last year, and you look at their football team, and a lot of those kids play basketball. Their football team, hadn't won a game in 5 years, and then they came out and were almost 500 this past football season. So they have some athletes. Whether or not they can put it together, I know they have that good shooting guard. They can put up some points, and they still have the tall kid, Olsen, I think is his name.
He's a big kid.
Oh, lanky kid. So, down low. So I think they're this Clark team.
Sounds like it might be a run and gun basketball game. Sounds like Clark likes to force the tempo, and Coach Krusich is all about that when he can. So we'll get his thoughts. But it sounds like this might be a real run and gunner tomorrow night on the boys' side of it. Also on the show tonight, we always like to talk baseball with Rick Matthews. Of course, Rick, a number of years at the major league level with the Colorado Rockies. And he's going to come out tonight and joined by a classmate of ours and another Centerville alum who is going to be at the big league level, Jonathan Matthews. And we'll talk about that when Jonathan comes out with Rick tonight. Talk a little baseball. It's an exciting time. The winter meetings over just about a week or so ago. We'll get their thoughts and get some inside information on what's going on. Rick is the one that told us, 2 years ago, I remember him being here after the Royals had gone to the World Series out of the blue, and we said, who's next? And he told us the Cubs. And I think he said 2016 or 2017 will be the Cubs year. So sometimes it's fun to get these guys on the inside that have some information for us. So we'll find out the latest there with Rick and Jonathan Matthews. And then Nick Howe. We haven't talked to the bowling coach yet. Nick's our bowling coach. We'll be talking to him, boys and girls bowling, in the back half of the show as well. Busy show here on the pitch tonight. Well, before we go to break, I think it's only fitting that at the top of the show tonight we talk about a tremendous loss to the Centerville community, the Stapleton County in general, but especially our school community as a teacher and a coach. Last Thursday, December 15th, Janet Stevens passed away. Janet was just 57 years old, and she was a tremendous asset to have. It's a great loss for Centerville community. She's one of those people that was very giving of her time. And people like that are invaluable. If you've ever organized an event, if you've ever had to run an event, whether it be sporting or whatever, you know how invaluable it is to have people like Janet Stevens. You call up, you need an official, you need somebody to keep the scorebook, you need somebody to be prepared in case somebody needs an ice bag. It didn't matter. Whatever you needed, Janet was there. And those sort of people, again, are completely irreplaceable. She will be sorely missed as a community leader and, of course, as a family member and friend. So we send our wishes to the family. It was a very touching service Monday at the Simon Estes Auditorium. Brian Hargrave officiated that and just did a wonderful job. It was a fitting tribute to Janet Stevens, passed away at the age of 57 last Thursday, December 15th. Janet, we know you're in a better place now, and we certainly will miss you. We'll take a break. We'll come back after this.
Merry Christmas to all from Jim Ireland Menswear in Centerville. At Jim Ireland Menswear, they remind you that they have extended hours for the holiday shopping season. Currently open Sundays noon to 5 to go along with their normal business hours. Those hours will be extended on December 12th. They'll be open 9 to 7 Monday through Saturday, and then again noon to 5 on Sundays. Jim Ireland Menswear can help you with every guy on your list. They carry top brands like Cinch, Izod, Levi, and Carhartt. They offer gift certificates and free gift wrapping. See Jim Ireland Menswear this holiday season for all the men on your list.
When it's time for new flooring in your home, be sure to check out J&L Flooring in Centerville. We are a family business where honesty and integrity come first. Whether you are looking for carpet, vinyl, or hardwood, tile, laminate, or luxury vinyl planks, you are always assured to get top quality products at affordable prices. We feature the latest in flooring trends, and financing is available. Give us a call today at 856-6331 to schedule an appointment. Ask about our new mobile showroom. For those with busy schedules, we bring the showroom to you.
There's no place like home, and there's no place like Northside Insurance to insure your home. We're your hometown insurance agency, which means we know you by name and will take time to understand your insurance needs. We can also help with your other insurance, such as auto, boat, farm, and business. Together with Allied Insurance, we'll design the insurance package that fits your needs. Call us today at 856-3333.
Quote to claim, we take care of you. Northside Insurance.
Founded in 1864, the Daily Iowegian is one of the oldest businesses in Centerville. Keep up on local news, sports, and all community events by reading the Daily Iowegian. You'll also find them online at dailyiowegian.com. That's dailyiowegian.com, where you'll find the latest in local news and much more. Subscribe today by calling 856-6336. That's 856-6336. The Daily Iowegian, the newspaper that cares about Appleton County.
You are listening to the Centerville Show on KCO, our final show. Coming up a little bit later on, we'll take a look back at the sports year for Centerville schools and look at some of the highlights. And I will have what I think is my top moment of the year for 2016. We'll see what these guys think. That's coming up a little bit later on. Right now, let's talk Hy-Vee. Of course, we're very grateful. Hy-Vee has us out each and every week. They are our presenting sponsor. At some point, we need to kind of figure out how many. It's got to be at least 6, 7, maybe 8 years the way time goes by, and I know how I'm going to figure it out because I remember what we need to figure out. I think the young girl's name from Moravia is Tegan Gay, I think was her name. But when we first did the show, there was a junior softball player from Moravia that was killing it. Satchlight. I remember that when we were still up in the studio. So all I got to do is figure out what year she was a junior in high school. And
3 store directors ago for me. That I can tell you that much. So
yeah. So because Doug Dopp is the one who was the store director when we started. So we just need to know what was Doug. And he left. Well,
Darren left.
Yeah.
Somewhat shortly after we started.
Just figure out Darren left, and we'll know what year we started after. We'll leave that with you. That'll be easier than me trying to hold the Darren track down.
We do tape like that. He'll probably remember the exact date and time we started.
Maybe I'll text him. I wonder if he still has the cell phone number.
He does.
I've still got it right here.
He definitely does.
We'll text him and ask him what year he left Centerville Hy-Vee. But anyway, we appreciate Hy-Vee having us out each and every week. We're in the dining room. Come out and see us. Enjoy a great meal and take advantage of the great deals. Josh, you got some good stuff for them.
You bet. We got a great one-day sale tomorrow. If you want to get in here and kind of beat the holiday rush, we got a lot of great things in here. We have 80% lean ground beef and 10-pound tube for just $19.90. You can get a 10-cent fuel saver on that. We have Hy-Vee chicken noodle or tomato soup in a 10.5-ounce can, 3 for $1. Hy-Vee half-gallon orange juice, that's regular or calcium fortified, 2 for $3. Fresh from our kitchen, we have the 12-inch take and bake pizzas, pepperoni pizza traditional crust. Buy one at $6.99 and you can get one free. We also have Nestle Toll House morsels for just $1.98 each. Extra laundry detergent for just $1.99, and all of our Christmas merchandise is 25% off tomorrow. So that goes to all of our gift section, our toys, and our candy is all 25% off tomorrow.
All of that right out here at your local Hy-Vee store. And I know you've got some great fuel saver stuff, Perks Plus card stuff coming up.
Absolutely, and this will start on January 2nd. We're going to be giving away $22,000 over the first 12 weeks of the year. We're going to be giving away $1,000 in gift cards per week. So from our store, I think they've kind of decided on it's going to be 10 $100 gift cards per week that we're going to be giving away. And then a grand prize winner on April 2nd will win a $10,000 Hy-Vee gift card. So we're going to give away a lot of groceries over the next 12 weeks, beginning in January.
Outstanding. All right out here at Hy-Vee. Coming up next, we'll talk wrestling with Coach Matt Johnson. They're fresh off a trip to Missouri. We'll find out how that went and Coach's thoughts on the first half of the season. We're coming back after this on Hy-Vee's The Pitch.
Sales and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corydon is proud to be a part of the Pitch Sports Show. Give Sales and Associates a call today at 888-767-0239. That's 888-767-0239. Call them locally in Centerville at 856-3375. That's 856-3375. For all your insurance needs, call Sales and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corydon.
Hello, this is Billy Thomas of the Thomas Funeral Home. Have you considered the benefit of advanced funeral planning? To plan for your first car, your first home, your children's college, and your retirement. Planning makes sense. Guaranteed pricing, peace of mind, and the alleviation of stress on your family are just a few of the benefits of advanced funeral planning. Please feel free to pick up the phone or stop by the funeral home with any questions regarding advanced funeral planning.
Call the Thomas Funeral Home at 856-8661 or visit them at 501 North 18th Street in Centerville. Chico Construction provides a complete line of excavating equipment for all your water, sewer, and building needs. Whether it be residential, commercial, or agricultural, Chico Construction can help. Serving Centerville and Southern Iowa for more than 40 years. Call Dave McCann at Chico Construction, 895-1980. That's Dave McCann at 895-1980. Chico Construction. For all your excavating needs, remember,
McCann can.
Hey everybody, it's Ocker the Broker with Ocker Realty in Centerville, located at 315 North 10th, just across from the post office. At Ocker Realty, we don't just list your house, we sell your house. We have innovative ways to make that happen. One of them being our virtual tours. Check out what we can do for you. Give us a call at 437-0500. That's 437-0500. Or call me on my cell at 641-895-0862. That's 895-0862. Ocker Realty in Centerville. Follow us home. Ocker Realty is an equal housing opportunity firm. Russ Ocker Broker.
You're listening to The Pitch on KCOG Centerville. Russ Ocker, Chadley Koestner, Josh Branch. We're joined now by Matt Johnson, our head wrestling coach. The Big Red Wrestlers fresh off a trip to Lee's Summit. But before we get into that big weekend, we had that home meet there last Thursday. Yes, and Davis County was here, Sheraton here, Albee here. And some pretty good moments in that one, Coach. We knew Albee was going to be difficult. Right. And they were. But other than that, things look pretty good for Big Reds.
Yeah, things looked well. We started out the night against Sheraton, and minus maybe one match, everything went our way. We shuffled our lineup around a little bit, and all of those lineup changes panned out for us. And I was just really pleased with how the boys came out and wrestled. They wrestled hard. They competed in every match. A lot of our guys are starting to figure out where they need to be successful in a match, and they're getting to those positions, and it's paying off for them.
Yeah, you moved some of the, definitely when I could tell, I know you moved Warren up,
yeah,
and then Peyton Russell up, which, bless Peyton Russell, the kid he was wrestling with, he looked like he got him, but boy, he looked like it was a lot of effort to move that guy.
Yeah, it was a lot of effort. And, Peyton's the perfect example of what I was talking about. He's a sophomore, and he does some things really well, and he does some things not so well. And he's really learned how to get himself into the positions where he's good and stay out of the positions where he knows he's not the best. And that was a perfect example of what I tell the kids. If you battle for 6 minutes, I like our chances. And it was a really close match deep into the third period, and Peyton ended up
getting them turned and getting the fall, and that was huge. But I threw Mason Haskell in at 152 for a forfeit. It's one of the nice things about having a lot of guys on the team is if there's an open, I can throw a guy in and bump the weight classes around. And I bumped Tatum Bartholomew up to 160, and we lost a 12-10 decision. But that was definitely a match that we felt that we should have won. And then from there on up, everything happened the way that we had hoped it would. And then we ended the night, what was really nice, Tiger Terpstra avenged a loss from the previous week against a really quality opponent, Dylan Harbert's Sheraton, and he really dominated the match. I was happy to see that.
So you get done with the Sheraton, in which we dominated as a team. I think, everybody thought that would probably be closer than it was.
I thought it was going to be, yep.
It turned out that we controlled it. And then against Albia, like I say, you knew Albia was going to be really, really tough, so I assume as a coach you kind of look for some positives to take away from that. What were some good moments for us against Albia?
Well, some good moments. We actually lost a couple matches we should have won. We didn't wrestle the best against Albia. I think we competed better than we have in years past, so that's positive. There were 14 contested matches, actually 13. They ended up forfeiting to Cade and Kalserich. Out of those 13 matches, we won 4. Cade Warren's match, and can't remember off the top of my head, there was another match in there that we lost that was close, that in my opinion, we should have won. So looking back on it, there were 13 contested matches. We had a chance of winning 6 of those. I was happy with that. We're getting to where we need to be. Just in dual meet situations, when you run into a team like Albia, who is a quality wrestling team, they really don't have as many standouts outside of Aiden Reeves as they've had in the past, but they have guys up and down their lineup that know how to wrestle. And there's no, we're going to get 6 points with that guy in their lineup for the most part. So when we meet up with teams like that, we're probably going to struggle. But we competed, and that's the one thing I'll say about these guys, and we talk about it repeatedly: compete. Try to get to where you are comfortable, get to your positions, try and score points. And sometimes it works out for us, sometimes it doesn't. But by and large, this year when a Big Red has stepped on the mat, you got their best effort, and they're working to win matches.
And then I believe it turned out that Davis County ended up beating Sheraton, didn't they?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the results possibly. Davis County, they're not, they have some opens, but they probably matched up well with Davis County, and they wrestled well that night. They beat us in a couple weights where I didn't think that we should have lost, and it ended up being closer than the first time when we wrestled them. But, that happens, and you got to wrestle hard every duel. There's no automatic win.
So what was our final against Davis County then?
I think it was like 46-32, somewhere around there. I can't remember the score off the top of my head, but there was a point in the duel where I was getting worried that it might get away from us, and there was a chance that maybe they could turn the tables on us. But we were able to step up and win a couple matches by fall that we thought we would, and kind of put the duel away.
So you take 2 out of 3 and go home, meet pretty good crowd down there that night. And, senior night. So now all that's left at home is the Big Red.
Yeah, the Big Red weekend where it's I think it's the 13th, 14th, and 15th. We host a home JV meet on that Friday night. Friday the 13th. It might be the JV. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that should be interesting. And then you have on Saturday you have the varsity meet, and then on Sunday we'll be hosting our second youth tournament of the year. So it'll be a busy weekend. It's always real fun.
So then you head on down to Missouri, where it's going to be some good competition. Tell us about how things went at least Summit.
We were talking to the boys about it tonight, and we wrestled well on Friday night. Unfortunately, they canceled the tournament Saturday morning. There was a lot of really bad ice in the Kansas City area, and they had to shut it down. But we were in like 5th or 6th place for most of Friday night. In the end, we dipped down to 11th heading into the second day. But, if we had one more person make it into the championship bracket, we probably would have been in 5th or 4th place. It was that bunched up. Once again, beneficiary of having 14 guys in the lineup, because the way that tournament works, there's a pool format on Friday night, and you get points for buys. And once again, we're talking about competing in these tournaments. We want to finish in the top half. Our goal is to get a trophy at any tournament we go to. We haven't gotten there yet. But if you only have 10 guys, it becomes really challenging to do that. But once again, we fought hard. couple of our guys, we had a weight change. Caden Kosrich made his way down to 120, and he looked really solid at that weight class. I think we had 5 guys make it into the championship bracket if we would have wrestled on Saturday. And last year we didn't have any. So that was a big plus.
That tournament, of course, I'm sure the kids are awful disappointed to see it not get to go on Saturday. What are some of the big tournaments left? That what would I guess rival that for the competition you're going to see?
I would say I really don't know what to say about Benton. Benton is traditionally a very, very strong 2A tournament. You have Davenport, Assumption. Benton is good. You have a lot of quality 1A teams. Don Bosco's there, which is a perennial powerhouse in 1A. So that tournament, year in and year out, has the potential to be really tough. I look forward to be a good tournament this year. The Big Red, I think it's going to be up as compared to where it's been the past couple of years. And then Urbandale. Urbandale will be our toughest tournament of the year. Then we finish out our tournament schedule with Fairfield the last Saturday in January. So January is a tough schedule for us. We have 8 dates in January, 4 tournaments, 4 dual dates, and it definitely is going to prepare us for sectionals.
Do we know yet where the sectionals will be?
Yeah, Albia will be hosting the sectional tournament for us, and then the week after we'll be in Knoxville. Knoxville will host the district tournament.
And so now we know all the schools that are in the way.
We know all the schools. Eddyville's 2A this year, and the state sent both Eddyville and Davis County, Eddyville's literally 15 minutes away from Albia, to Keokuk for sectionals. So they were none too pleased with that. And then they go to Williamsburg for districts. And that's just how it works out sometimes. No, our section shaped up nicely. As always, we see there's a lot of our SCC teams there. Sheraton, Albia, Clark, also throwing Winterset, Centerville Decatur, us, and I think there's one more person. I always forget the last item in the list. But there's some good weight classes. Our district's shaping up to be a pretty good district as well. We pair up with PCM. Will be a big team that we pair up with. They have a lot of quality guys. Bondurant, Farrar, Knoxville, Sadell is in there as well. So our district's going to be a challenge, but it is when you get to that time of year. You're going to expect to meet up with some of the best guys.
With the numbers being up this year, we're talking about things that we haven't for a number of years, like where you're at in tournaments and competing and wanting to get to the point where you're bringing home some hardware as a team. Wrestling, obviously, a lot of it is individual, but how much community is there? When you're in those tournaments or you're in a dual meet, how much are the guys on the team thinking about the team aspect of it?
Well, I think somewhat for the guys on the team this year, it's a little different to be thinking about that. They're not used to it. But a perfect example is when we went to Seymour and wrestled Wayne, and it came down to the last match of the night, and John Gold won that match. And, I've never seen a group of guys more fired up than they were at that point. Came off the mat, and all the guys were chanting John's name. And, we came in, and it was kind of like, it was just a really cool atmosphere to be in, very exciting. So, they're buying into it. And it's funny that you mentioned it. We just had that discussion tonight because wrestling is an individual sport. So I gave them a whole speech of, the strength of the wolf is in the pack and the strength of the pack is in the wolf. So the better we each get individually, the better our team's going to be. The better our team gets, the better our individuals are going to get. So it's one of the things we preach to them. They are getting into looking at the tournament scores now, and every tournament is ran online with track wrestling, so you can get on your phone and see instantaneous team results. So that's neat. The kids are always looking, oh, Coach, did you see we're in 5th place? Can you believe that? Like, yeah, man. Hard work pays off. Keep working hard. Win matches. That's what happens.
Now you have we're coming up on the holiday break here, which I know always from a wrestling standpoint, you got to worry a little bit about what the kids eat and all that stuff. So give us your thoughts as a coach and what you see the schedule being for you guys over the next 10 days.
Well, we have practice tomorrow morning, and then they're off until Monday. Give them a little bit of time to recover. Get yourself right physically, get yourself right mentally, and then be ready to come in next week and get a good week of training to prepare ourselves for, a tough January. We practice every day over break. We'll lift at least 3 of those days. We'll wrestle all of those days. Then they have Saturday off. New Year's Day, we'll have a workout in the afternoon because on Monday the 2nd, we have a dual meet tournament in Eddyville, which I forgot to mention that one. That's a new one this year, where we'll get 5 duels in. So not a lot of rest, but even though we didn't have a competition this week, so there's already a couple of us that they've been overindulged, in my opinion, so far. So they're going to have to really be watching over break to get their weight back down.
Coach Matt Johnson, Big Red Wrestlers, what is our dual meet record right now?
Our dual meet record is 7-3.
Outstanding. It's exciting to see where the program's heading and to see these numbers up like this. And the junior high, I know they're off until after the New Year as well. Now, are they allowed to practice during the break? Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing that was really a point of emphasis for us as a program when is the idea that, if we want to get better, if we want to be good, then we have to do what good teams do. And if you want to be a good wrestler, you don't take Christmas break off. You practice every day. And if they're in town, the expectation is, like with all our kids in our program, is that they practice over break. Our youth program, we have practice on the 26th for the kids. We practice that week as a youth, and we go and compete in tournaments. So if we're expecting to get where we think we want to go, then we have to understand there's a certain way of going about it. And you can't get elite results without putting in elite effort. So that's that's our philosophy.
All right, Coach, thanks so much for stopping out. We look forward to visiting with you again on January 4th is when the Pitchfork Show will return, and you'll have some more action under your belt. You guys will be entered on the 2nd. So happy holidays to you, and it's exciting stuff. This Big Red Wrestling team's got to make into a great season. So we appreciate you stopping out. Good luck to you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We'll take a break. We'll come back with more after this on Hy-Vee's The Pit.
What is important to you right now? Is it your health? Is it your job? Is it your family? Perhaps it's your upcoming retirement or your lack of a plan to get to retirement. This is Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop in Centerville. Successful coaches always have a plan for their team and for the next ball game. In the financial game of life, you need a smart plan to protect your family and a smart plan for your retirement. For almost 30 years now, I have been helping people with life insurance and retirement plans with cash flow. It's critically important to have a plan financially for your family and for your retirement. I can help you with both. I'm Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop in Centerville.
Henley Dental in Centerville reminds you of the importance of taking good care of your teeth. You should have your teeth cleaned and examined every 6 months. Call Henley Dental in Centerville at 856-4103. That's 856-4103. Taking good care of your teeth can save you a lot of pain and a lot of money. At Henley Dental in Centerville, they offer a wide array of dental procedures. Call Henley Dental in Centerville at 856-4103. That's 856-4103. Henley Dental in Centerville. Only 10% of collision repair shops achieve I-CAR Gold Class standard, the highest training level recognized in the industry. RK Auto Body is proud to be one of them. We know the latest repair techniques, how to find hidden damage, and how to repair your car's critical safety features so they work properly again. We invest in training because we would never cut corners with your family's safety at stake, and neither should you. Get your vehicle repaired at RK Auto Body, where your safety is our top priority. RK Auto Body is located at 21317 Highway J46 Centerville, or call them at 641-856-2500.
You are listening to the Pitchfork Show on KCOG Centerville. Russ Ocker, Chadley Koestner, Josh Price, joined now by Coach Matt Krusich to talk Big Red basketball. And since last we talked, I think because of the weather, we only had the one contest.
Yep.
And that was last night at Mount Pleasant, the game that was originally scheduled for Monday night. The circumstances we touched on earlier with the passing of Janet Stevens, that game was moved. Funeral was Monday afternoon. I think it obviously would have been a difficult thing to try to play Monday.
Yeah, and Janet had quite a reputation with a lot of people around the state. When you're a person that puts as much time and outside of school into kids, referees came up to me last night in Mount Pleasant and asked about, Janet and the services and how everything was going and the circumstances with her family and everything. And, it's a good feeling to know that, knew her and she touched on a lot of lives. So, it made me feel good personally just to go over there and have people come out of the blue and that knew her and show their condolences. And, I'm sure her family would appreciate that also.
Worked with us on that, obviously.
Yeah.
And we got the game moved to last night. So you go to Mount Pleasant. They're going to be one of the best teams in the state. You're going to have your hands full. All in all, I think there were some good things that came out of it at times. So we looked like a pretty good basketball team.
Yeah, I agree. And and the few fans that made that trip over there just for one game, but at the same time, seriously, you're right. Mount Pleasant is probably the team in Southeast Iowa to beat. And, I thought our kids fared well, especially in the first half. We came out and I really wasn't expecting run and jump press all over the floor the way they did, and they are very good at it. And one thing about it, we have seen that before with the good Pella teams. And I remember, like, when Mike Startsvich and Colton Gonnerman were our leaders on our team, and Pella did that to us for a whole game. And you basically, if you get the ball up to the half-court mark, you have to just attack the basket, because if you pick it up at all, their defensive pressure and their traps are incredible, and they are great at picking up next men to the ball. And, it just made it very tough for us to complete passes or run an organized offense. So basically our whole offensive scheme turned into get the ball to the half-court line and then attack 3-on-2. And once we figured that out, I thought we did a really nice job converting at the other end of the floor. And, where we came up short a little bit was I think they ended up running us out of gas because they can play at a high level the whole time. And also the free throw line's been our enemy here lately, and only converting 9 of 23, and no one is really stepping up there and shooting a great percentage right now. And we need all our guys to step up there with confidence, because the type of basketball we play, where we're attacking defenses and getting them in foul trouble, in which I thought we did a terrific job of last night. I think we drew 23 fouls on Mount Pleasant, and when you do that and you're putting them on their heels a little bit defensively, you've got to convert at the free throw line to make a difference, or at least stay close in the scoring margin. And I think they kind of took their lead when we were getting to the line and not converting, and they were coming down and making just about everything. But nice ball team. They have five guys that are 6'3" and under, but terrific athletes, and I think they've grown up playing ball together, and they have great history together. And then you couple that with the Australian foreign exchange kid that's 6'9" and probably weighs about 300 pounds. He was a load inside, and Coach Runquist does a great job with them. I mean, those guys, they move the ball very well, and the Sartorius kid out front, he's a tough kid to guard. And one of my highlights last night was Jackson picking him right before halftime, because Mount Pleasant's one of those teams that likes to, if they have the ball within 30 seconds of the end of a quarter or the end of the half, they like to just hold it and work for one shot. And as they were doing that, Jackson picked that kid and just about converted at the other end, and couldn't quite get to the basket in time. But at the same time, I told him, that's something you'll never forget, because that kid's probably going to be a college basketball player, and he's a high level player. But it's nice to have moments like that in a game like that, because you can either be intimidated or you can suck it up and get out there and fight for everything you get. And I thought our kids at least gave everything the whole game. I thought we gave 100%, and I think they also showed how soft we can be too against a good, hard, physical team like them. I think Mount Pleasant has grown a lot tougher over a year's time. Last year they just played straight man. This year they're doing that up tempo pressing defense, and they're very hard nosed about it. I mean, if they put a trap on you, it was very tough to get rid of the ball. And even though we had 16 turnovers, I thought our guys did a nice job handling the ball. We didn't have a lot of turnovers that converted into layups. It was just that they came down and attacked very well offensively. And anytime we sagged in to stop their dynamic point guard, they'd kick it out and hit the three with two really good shooters out there. And then anytime we covered them, he could always dish it to the big 6'9" guy that was just, I mean, he was like guarding a truck under there. And
I didn't realize he was a foreign exchange student.
No, he's from Australia.
And put him in Centerville?
Yeah, I know. We would have welcomed that big kangaroo at our place, but he definitely, that one out of bounds play when he knocked Hunter Matty and Brett Kosrich both down coming into the basket and made them look like bowling pins. I mean, the guy is just a huge guy to guard, and it reminded me a lot of Wes Ashelman from Davis County back in the day, and he's just a load. But you couple that with a team that can play the way at the high level those Mount Pleasant kids can play. It's a heck of a good thing to have.
I didn't feel like that a lot of our turnovers came necessarily against the press. I mean, 16 turnovers is a few too many, but you're going to have that. But I don't recall a couple of them on the inbounds against the press, but I felt like actually we beat the press pretty well. We turned it over a number of times trying to feed the post and in the half court, I think, as much as we did the actual press. Once we got the ball inbounded, I think it seemed like, anyway, that we beat the press most of the time.
Yeah, and also against a team that probably, I told our kids, we're not going to see another defense as good as that this year. Now, Pella might play that level, but at the same time, I thought one thing I really loved taking away from that game was they did a great job taking Brett out of his game. And, every time he got double teamed, and Brett is an unselfish player. For a kid that scored over 1,000 points, you would think that, he's going to control the ball all the time. But, anytime the double team came, he did a nice job finding the open guy. And honestly, I thought every guy around him did a nice job stepping up and trying to make something positive happen. Colton Maloma had a great night, especially against that type of defense. And, he scored 14 points for us. And honestly, I think if you ask him, he missed a couple of layups also in transition. So he could have done for possibly 20 points against that team. And, and I thought Logan Stickler and Dan Hargrave, I thought they fought hard inside. I wish they would have been a little more physical. That was kind of my main point to our kids was when we come up against these big teams like Oski and Mount Pleasant, we have to match them physically. And, when we came out at halftime, Brett was the only guy with 2 fouls. And I told him, I was like, now, anybody that gets close to the basket, we can assert our authority a little bit under there and at least, make it tough for them to score. And if we have to hack them a little bit and send them to the line, go right ahead and do that. And really, I thought the only guy that really kind of embraced that was Hunter Matty. And I thought Hunter had a great game. He gave us some offensive rebounds and some putbacks. And, for a guy that's not known for his basketball ability, he really stepped up in a physical game last night and played very well. And, offensively, he moved without the ball and got some big offensive rebounds and gave us some second chances. And defensively, he wasn't intimidated by any of those guys. He stepped right in there. And, I think one thing about our juniors, that's one thing they're going to have to learn is when we're in a physical ball game, they're going to have to step up and get after it. When we walked off the floor, Dan Hargrave only had he had no fouls. And I think Stickler only had 1 foul for the night. And those guys have to enforce that basket just a little bit better than that. And especially in second halves when you're not in foul trouble, you can't give away freebies under the basket.
We'll take a break. We'll come back more with Coach Matt Krusich right after this on Hy-Vee's The Pitch.
Merry Christmas to all from Jim Ireland Menswear in Centerville. At Jim Ireland Menswear, they remind you that they have extended hours for the holiday shopping season. Currently open Sundays noon to 5 to go along with their normal business hours. Those hours will be extended on December 12th. They'll be open 9 to 7 Monday through Saturday, and then again noon to 5 on Sundays. Jim Ireland Menswear can help you with every guy on your list. They carry top brands like Cinch, Izod, Levi, and Carhartt. They offer gift certificates and free gift wrapping. See Jim Ireland Menswear this holiday season for all the men on your list.
When it's time for new flooring in your home, be sure to check out J&L Flooring in Centerville. We are a family business where honesty and integrity come first. Whether you are looking for carpet, vinyl, or hardwood, tile, laminate, or luxury vinyl planks, you are always assured to get top quality products at affordable prices. We feature the latest in flooring trends and financing is available. Give us a call today at 856-6331 to schedule an appointment. Ask about our new mobile showroom. For those with busy schedules, we bring the showroom to you.
There's no place like home, and there's no place like Northside Insurance to insure your home. We're your hometown insurance agency, which means we know you by name and will take time to understand your insurance needs. We can also help with your other insurance, such as auto, boat, farm, and business. Together with Allied Insurance, we'll design the insurance package that fits your needs. Call us today at 856-3333.
Quote to claim, we take care of you. Northside Insurance.
Founded in 1864, the Daily Iowegian is one of the oldest businesses in Centerville. Keep up on local news, sports, and all community events by reading the Daily Iowegian. You'll also find them online at dailyiowegian.com. That's dailyiowegian.com, where you'll find the latest in local news and much more. Subscribe today by calling 856-6336. That's 856-6336. The Daily Iowegian, the newspaper that cares about Appomattox County.
With Coach Matt Crucich, the Big Reds now at 4-3, and I think ultimately, Coach, if we were really, I think you got to be fairly satisfied so far. Obviously, the Sheraton game will always, that one is a little bit of a burr. I think we feel like we probably should be 5-2, but on the road you're going to have that. But the one thing right now that we've talked about quite a bit on the show that's got to be fixed for these kids is the free throws, because you hit it. I think we got a chance to be a really good 2A team. I think we have a chance to think about making a bit of a tournament run. You can't do that at 9 for 23 from the line.
No.
And somebody's we got to step up and obviously as a coach, there's only so much you can do. I'm sure you guys are shooting, but sometimes it just becomes a little bit mental too.
Yeah, it really does. And just like tonight, we had to make 20 before we could leave, and right now I'm just talking muscle memory to them. You got to get up there and relax, but you have to be able to get that feel of, you got to get up there with confidence, and you got to shoot the ball like you know it's going in every time. And like I said, I don't think our guys have bad form. I don't think anyone goes up there and looks like Shaquille O'Neal at the line. I think we just go up there and, like last night, I think we're in such a high-paced game that when you get to the free throw line, you're kind of just trying to recover for a second. But at the same time, you can't make excuses because, like I said, with our style of ball, free throws is what's going to put the wins away. And I'm like you, we should be 5-2 right now, and that loss will bug me all year long because that's going to be the one that we think about because we had it. And I don't like losing to Sheraton, and I sure as heck wanted our seniors to go out with a win at Sheraton because that would have been their first one ever. And that game's that's gonna haunt us for a while. But it's knowing that we were there and should have had it is the part that if Sheraton would have played an excellent ball game and had if the lead went back and forth all night long or something like that, it would have been easier to live with. But we really put that thing away, and I really thought we had it. So. Yeah, it's going to haunt us for a while, but hey, that just puts that much more pressure on tomorrow night. We can't mess up at home, and we have to go out and take care of business. And and I'm kind of worried about it because our legs got run off a little bit last night, and tomorrow's a worthless day at school. And I am an educator, and I back education 100%. But tomorrow, after we've done 2 days of semester tests and everything's wrapped up for the semester, it's going to be a rough day for our guys because we're basically showing up to school to basically hang out and have Christmas parties and that sort of thing. And, I worry about we can't sit and consume Christmas candy all day
on sugar cookies
and lay around. And, we have to come out and take care of business. And, and then I'm sure Clark's concerned with the same thing because, I think everyone's in that mode of, hey, we want out for our break and we want to enjoy some time off. But we'll have a lot of fun after the game. But let's take care of business when we're on the court.
We talked earlier in my conversations with you here this week. You seem to be legitimately concerned about this Clark team, and that what I'm sensing is, the boys in all sports here have been kind of dominating Clark. Clark's been down in all sports. Even though the football game this year, the score didn't show it, but I think the coaching staff would say they're much improved in football. Their record would show it. They're much improved in basketball, too, and just looking at some of their games, if our guys aren't ready, Clark is certainly right there in the mix with everybody else.
They, this is a team that beat Eddyville by 10. They only lost to Albia by 2 last week, and they're pumped. They're ready to go, and they know they can control the ball. They have a very nice point guard in the Morgan kid, and they have a wing that can hit the 3. I think his name's Olin is his last name, and then the Wishin kid inside. Anytime you have a 6'9" guy that can drop step and put the ball in the hoop, if they can control the ball and control the tempo, we honestly could be in some trouble. But I also believe in my guys, and I like I said, it's not that I'm unhappy with the ball we're playing right now. I just know that if a team comes in and controls the tempo and takes a lead on us and just kind of makes us work for everything we get, they can be dangerous to us. And like you said, if we're not making our free throws, that's even that much more scarier because that's the kind of ball we play. We're going to get to the line, and if we don't convert, then it turns into a turnover, really. So we have to get out there and put things away and take care of business.
Well, you got a home game. Obviously, it's nice to get a. It's probably good to be playing Clark at home first because I think that obviously, like I say, if the boys don't consider this one of their tough contests, they'll certainly know it by the time you're a few minutes into the ball game, which is easier to deal with it at home. But we do have a big floor. We think that they were going to want tempo. You're talking possibly tempo. Sounds like this could be a bit of a track meet tomorrow night.
It could be, and hopefully we still have some legs left from last night. But honestly, as many guys as I played last night in that Mount Pleasant game, we should be okay. Because, I took 10 up there, and we played all 10, and actually they all got a few minutes, and so we should be ready to go. Like I said, I'm just concerned. One thing Coach Hill and I were talking about on the way home, and that is a long ride home from Mount Pleasant, especially when you lose by 25. But we were talking about conference-wise, we are glad that we've been on the road a lot. Like, we've completed the games in Albia, we've completed the game in Sheraton, and now we have to go to Knoxville right after the break. And the games we've been on the road in Davis County, in that atmosphere. So we've gotten a few good places out of the way. And but Clark's a scary place to play in the second half of the year. And but I'm just glad that most of the conference games the second half are going to be at our place because I really feel a lot more comfortable at home than I do on the road. But like I said, the only thing that scares me about tomorrow is everybody's got the break on their mind. And when you're investing everything you got into 16-year-old minds, it's kind of scary sometimes. And but hey, Clark also knows that we've kind of ruled the court with them the last few years, and they're always loaded for bear. They always come out and think it's going to be the night they knock us off, and I'm sure they're going to come out with that attitude tomorrow. So we have to go out there and take care of business from the word go.
We'll grab a break, come back, and wrap up with Coach Matt Cruz right after this on Hy-Vee's The Pitch.
Sales and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corydon is proud to be a part of the Pitch Sports Show. Give Sales and Associates a call today at 888-767-0239. That's 888-767-0239. Call them locally in Centerville at 856-3375. That's 856-3375. For all your insurance needs, call Sales and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corydon.
Hello, this is Billy Thomas of the Thomas Funeral Home. Have you considered the benefit of advanced funeral planning? You plan for your first car, your first home, your children's college, and your retirement. Planning makes sense. Guaranteed pricing, peace of mind, and the alleviation of stress on your family are just a few of the benefits of advanced funeral planning. Please feel free to pick up the phone or stop by the funeral home with any questions regarding advanced funeral planning.
Call the Thomas Funeral Home at 856-8661 or visit them at 501 North 18th Street in Centerville. Chico Construction provides a complete line of excavating equipment for all your water, sewer, and building needs. Whether it be residential, commercial, or agricultural, Chico Construction can help. Serving Centerville and Southern Iowa for more than 40 years. Call Dave McCann at Chico Construction, 895-1980. That's Dave McCann at 895-1980. Chico Construction. For all your excavating needs, remember,
McCann can.
Hey everybody, it's Ocker the Broker with Ocker Realty in Centerville, located at 315 North 10th, just across from the post office. At Ocker Realty, we don't just list your house, we sell your house. We have innovative ways to make that happen. One of them being our virtual tours. Check out what we can do for you. Give us a call at 437-0500. That's 437-0500. Or call me on my cell at 641-895-0862. That's 895-0862. Ocker Realty in Centerville. Follow us home. Ocker Realty is an equal housing opportunity firm. Russ Ocker Broker.
This is The Pinch on KCLG Centerville, our final show of 2016. We'll be back next on January 4th. And right now we are wrapping up the first half of the basketball season here with Coach Matt Krusich. And because of the cancellation last Friday night due to the weather with Clark, we are playing them tomorrow night. Girls start at 5:30. It's varsity only tomorrow night. Girls at 5:30 with the boys to follow. And this is Coach, obviously this game is huge. It's the last game before the break. You certainly don't want to go into the break with the back-to-back conference losses.
No, you're right, and but it's like we said, you can say all you want, you can preach all you want to the guys. I mean, they know how important it is, and I think they're dialed in, and I think they're ready to go. But like I said, when it's the holiday season and kids have vacation on their mind, it's one of those things, and you just kind of worry about it, but you can't control it. So we're going to go out there, but like I said, I think that game last night honestly did us some good because Clark had the week off and they haven't played. And, it makes a difference when you go out and take the floor. And I also think our boys are going to see that, after seeing Mount Pleasant defense, I think they're going to see that the Clark defense is just a little bit different than that, and I think the lanes for the basket are going to be just a little bit wider. And I think the passing lanes, if we attack as well as we did last night, are going to be a little more open for us. And it's just going to be a little easier. It's just we have to go out and make it easy. We have to go out and attack, and we have to be on our toes defensively and just get our butts in gear and play hard.
Starting lineup-wise, we've seen a few changes this year. You've had Taylor McGrann, Tyson Bloma flip-flop a little bit there, and then Dan Hargrave got his first start of the year last night. There's still some, we got a lot of season left. You still got guys apparently fighting hard in practice.
Yeah, I think competition's awesome on our team. And, what's really funny to me is usually the guys I'm going with to start, the guys coming off the bench give us a little more energy every now and then. I thought, like start Hargrave last night, and I thought Hunter played very well coming off the bench. And the game before, I started Hunter, and I thought Hargrave did a better job off the bench. So, honestly, right now, as our big men go, they're probably fighting over coming off the bench because they're having better outings. And with our guard situation, I really think we have a good 3-guard punch at that other spot. And also, I was giving Colton some minutes off last night, trying to keep his legs fresh, and I think that paid off too. It was nice for Jackson and Tyson to come in off the bench and rest those guys and give them a chance to get out there and play their best and be at full speed. And I didn't think we lost much at all. I think our guard situation is coming along well. I wish we could get a little more scoring out of that group, but at the same time, it was nice to see Colton come back. And now if we could just get a little bit more out of those other three and whenever they're in. And I think against our conference opponents, we're going to start seeing that a little bit more because, Taylor was attacking the basket last night and finding the open guy. I think he led us in assists, and Jackson and Tyson. I mean, they pick their spots of when to take the open shot or when to drive. And, I got faith in those guys. I think they're coming along. And I think coming into next year, we're going to be pretty strong at that guard spot.
Coach Matt Cruising talking Big Red basketball. Make sure you get out tomorrow night. It's your last chance to see the Big Reds and the Redheads before the break as we take on Clark of Osceola. 5:30 start time for the girls. Chadley and Michael Connor will have the play-by-play action if you can't get to Lakeview or if you want to take along those portable radios. We hope to see a big crowd tomorrow night heading into the break as the Big Reds and Redheads are at home in a makeup game against Clark. Coach, as always, thanks for stopping out. We wish you a very happy holidays. Hopefully you get a little Christmas gift tomorrow night with a win.
You bet. And we want to wish all the listeners out there and all our supporters out there, hey, thanks for everything. And you guys have a great Christmas. And if you can't make it tomorrow night, come out and see us in 2017 because we're going to keep on chugging.
We're back after this with more on Hy-Vee's The Bit.
What is important to you right now? Is it your health? Is it your job? Is it your family? Perhaps it's your upcoming retirement or your lack of a plan to get to retirement. This is Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop in Centerville. Successful coaches always have a plan for their team and for the next ball game. In the financial game of life, you need a smart plan to protect your family and a smart plan for your retirement. For almost 30 years now, I have been helping people with life insurance and retirement plans with cash flow. It's critically important to have a plan financially for your family and for your retirement. I can help you with both. I'm Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop in Centerville.
Henley Dental in Centerville reminds you of the importance of taking good care of your teeth. You should have your teeth cleaned and examined every 6 months. Call Henley Dental in Centerville at 856-4103. That's 856-4103. Taking good care of your teeth can save you a lot of pain and a lot of money. At Henley Dental in Centerville, they offer a wide array of dental procedures. Call Henley Dental in Centerville at 856-4103. That's 856-4103. Henley Dental in Centerville. Only 10% of collision repair shops achieve I-CAR Gold Class standard, the highest training level recognized in the industry. RK Auto Body is proud to be one of them. We know the latest repair techniques, how to find hidden damage, and how to repair your car's critical safety features so they work properly again. We invest in training because we would never cut corners with your family's safety at stake. And neither should you. Get your vehicle repaired at RK Auto Body, where your safety is our top priority. RK Auto Body is located at 21317 Highway J46 Centerville, or call them at 641-856-2500.
the show. Big thanks to Coach Matt Krusich for joining us and Coach Matt Johnson. And we look forward to visiting with them again in 2017. This is our final show of the year. We'll be back on January 4th. And coming up in just a little bit, we will be looking back on some of the Centerville athletic highlights for 2016. Chad, I saw you got down a few notes. Were you making a grocery list, or were you?
No. They told me to write some stuff down, so I thought it better because knowing me, I could forget what I was thinking.
I had it. Bryce hasn't written down a thing.
No, I got one.
He's still young, though. He can remember one.
All right, you two have some notes on what's going on out here at Hy-Vee. I know you guys are geared up for the holidays.
You bet. Got a lot of great stuff going on. Anything you need for the holidays, stop in here. We've got it for you. But we have a great one-day sale going on tomorrow. We have extra laundry detergent. You're gonna have a lot of family coming back and needing to do laundry and staying around. You need the detergent for just $1.99 for 75 ounce. We have Tresemme shampoo and conditioner select varieties, 28 ounce for just $2.99. If you're looking for last minute gift ideas, we've got a lot of great stuff here. It's all going to be 25% off. We got a lot of Koestner pan and knife sets. We've got coffee makers. We've got blenders. You name it. We've got a little bit of everything up there. I still got a couple of they're called stadium hangers. They're three-dimensional wall-hanging models. I've got Busch Stadium and Kinnick Stadium left up there. They make a really cool gift. And then we've also got, tomorrow, we have 12-inch pepperoni pizzas from the kitchen. The great take and bake ones. Buy one at $6.99, get one free. We also have that smart bread, a 16-ounce loaf for just 39 cents, and Hy-Vee chicken noodle or tomato soup, just 3 cans for $1.
All of that right out here at your local Hy-Vee store. Hy-Vee presenting the Pitchfork Show, and our top-notch producer of the show, Kyle Ocker, tells us that it looks like we started this show back in 2009. So we have, and I think we came out here like in October, it seems like that year. So 7 years we've been out here at Hy-Vee. We will grab a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little baseball. It seems like the season's a long ways away, but spring training will be here before we know it. And we got a couple of big leaguers here with us tonight. Coach Rick Matthews and Jonathan Matthews going to visit with us. We'll pick the minds of the insiders a little bit, as guys like Josh and I especially, it's always baseball. So we'll get their thoughts on some things when we come back on Hy-Vee's The Pitch.
Merry Christmas to all from Jim Ireland Menswear in Centerville. At Jim Ireland Menswear, they remind you that they have extended hours for the holiday shopping season. Currently open Sundays noon to 5 to go along with their normal business hours. Those hours will be extended on December 12th. They'll be open 9 to 7 Monday through Saturday, and then again noon to 5 on Sundays. Jim Ireland Menswear can help you with every guy on your list. They carry top brands like Cinch, Izod, Levi, and Carhartt. They offer gift certificates and free gift wrapping. See Jim Ireland Menswear this holiday season for all the men on your list.
When it's time for new flooring in your home, be sure to check out J&L Flooring in Centerville. We are a family business where honesty and integrity come first. Whether you are looking for carpet, vinyl, or hardwood, tile, laminate, or luxury vinyl planks, you are always assured to get top quality products at affordable prices. We feature the latest in flooring trends, and financing is available. Give us a call today at 856-6331 to schedule an appointment. Ask about our new mobile showroom. For those with busy schedules, we bring the showroom to you.
There's no place like home, and there's no place like Northside Insurance to insure your home. We're your hometown insurance agency, which means we know you by name and will take time to understand your insurance needs. We can also help with your other insurance, such as auto, boat, farm, and business. Together with Allied Insurance, we'll design the insurance package that fits your needs. Call us today at 856-3333.
Quote to claim, we take care of you. Northside Insurance.
Founded in 1864, the Daily Iowegian is one of the oldest businesses in Centerville. Keep up on local news, sports, and all community events by reading the Daily Iowegian. You'll also find them online at dailyiowegian.com. That's dailyiowegian.com, where you'll find the latest in local news and much more. Subscribe today by calling 856-6336. That's 856-6336. The Daily Iowegian, the newspaper that cares about Appomattox County.
You are listening to the Pitchfork Show on KCOG Centerville. Big thanks to all of our fine sponsors who make the show possible each and every week. Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop, J&L Flooring, Jim Island Menswear, Cook Insurance, Inley Dental, the Thomas Funeral Home, Northside Insurance, RK Auto Body, the Daily Norwegian, Chico Construction, Ocker Realty, Power Insurance with our Hall of Fame Challenge, and our presenting sponsor, Hy-Vee. We're joined now by Rick Matthews and Jonathan Matthews, and of course, Rick, many years in the big leagues with the Colorado Rockies, and now we've learned recently that Jonathan, class of 1990, is going to be with the big league squad this year for the San Diego Padres. Coach, tell us a new exciting position. Congratulations. First of all, give us some details.
Yeah, thanks, Russ. I'm going to be on the Major League staff with the San Diego Padres. I was on the way flying to the National Finals Rodeo, and I got a phone call that the Padres had called the Diamondbacks, who I had previously worked for, and asked for permission to talk to me about a job on their Major League staff. I assumed they called the wrong phone number. But they flew me out. 2 days later, I interviewed with the manager and the general manager and some of their front office staff. And a couple of days later, they called me off from the job. So I thought about it, didn't jump right at it necessarily, but I ended up taking it. So I've got a new venture. I'll leave for spring training probably about the middle of February, and head to Peoria, Arizona for spring training, and then I'll be spending the summer in the National League West.
Did you tell him you'd have to get back to me? You had a guy on the other line about a set of white wolves?
You know what, kind of. I told him that being in the major leagues at this point in my life, that doesn't necessarily trump everything. And it doesn't. But it worked out, and I think this was potentially an opportunity that may or may not come up for me again. And so I thought maybe I should take it and see where it goes and see what happens.
So, to the best of your knowledge, what can you tell us you will be doing for the Padres?
They call it, a lot of teams call it what they call a quality control coach. The Padres call it the Major League Staff Coordinator. So I'm going to help the manager, a guy by the name of Andy Green. I'm going to help him organize spring training, make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be when. And then once the season starts, I'm going to assist the hitting coach. I think I'm probably going to be in charge of all the pitchers, hitting and offense and bunting and that sort of thing. He told me that he wanted a little bit more out of that 9-hole spot that he got last year, so we'll see how that goes. Probably do some advanced scouting things, some outfield positioning. The major leagues anymore, with all the stats and the metrics they get computer printouts that tell them before a series where they should play infielders, outfielders. So I'll look at that and go into Andy and say, hey, I think we should maybe deviate from this a little bit and play this guy, shade him in one direction or the other. But for the most part, they have a math equation that tells you where to play everybody, especially in the outfield. And then the infield shifts are a big thing lately, and he's big into that. So we'll talk about all of those things. And then beyond that, I throw left-handed batting practice. I'm sure that didn't hurt matters. And, I guess I told him that my view of a coach is that we're there to serve the players. And so, I guess my view of it is I'm going to do kind of what the players need me to do for them.
So when the game's going on, you will be right there in a full-fledged big league uniform.
Yeah. As of right now, he thinks he's got another coach to fill out the staff. So depending on who that is, I might be up in the tunnel. And when I went and interviewed in San Diego, I went through the clubhouse and the ballpark and all that, and they've got TV screens that'll show our game and then a bunch of other games that are going on around the big leagues up in the cage, underneath the stands and behind the dugout. So as of right now, I'm probably going to be up there. And if guys want to come up and watch video of maybe the guy that's up in the bullpen, or if they want to watch, how Clayton Kershaw pitched them last time, or if they want to get some swings before a pinch hit at bat, I'm going to be up probably in the cage, up in the tunnel, doing those sorts of things during the game.
So, it sounds to me like with your position that you're going to be watching a lot of film of guys playing. This seems like this could be a 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week job if you really wanted it to be.
Yeah, it could be. But videos have gotten to be a big thing. Even in the minor leagues, we watched a ton of video. And I was a hitting coach with the Diamondbacks, and I would watch a ton of video with the guys. And one of the things I always wanted to do is I wanted to learn how to use video without being a slave to it. And I think as guys advance, and now that these guys will be in the big leagues, and so I'm assuming, I've never been there before, but I'm assuming they have a pretty good grasp of what they want to know and what they want to see on video. I mentioned Clayton Kershaw, whether you can game plan for that guy or not, I don't know. But I think that's one of the things with so much information out there. That's one of the things that Andy Green, the manager, and I talked about. You have all this information, then you have to kind of decide. I think it's important to take all of it in, but then what do we give the players? What helps them? Because they can definitely get information overload, and I think that's probably worse than not having enough information for them. So that'll be part of my job, is deciding, what do I take that the Major League Baseball gives us and that the San Diego Padres front office gives us, and then what do I pass along to the players that I think will help them?
You as a hitter, how much of all this stuff, if you personally were going in there to try to get a base hit, how much can you really, at some point, doesn't have to be, he's going to throw this round object and I'm going to have to hit it. How much can you possibly know? How much do you want to know?
Basically, what I would want to know is what pitches does he throw and what velocity. Now, there's way more out there than that. There's angle of depth on his sinker, and there's in 1-1 counts, he throws this pitch 36% of the time. And in 1-1 counts, after he throws the ball, he throws this pitch 42% of the time. But I think there's no way that those guys can process that during the course of an at-bat. So, maybe before a series, you can kind of learn some of those things, but as far as giving guys that much, I think the gist of it is they want to know what pitches does he throw, how hard does he throw them, and what's his strikeout pitch, what's his best pitch. And that's the nuts and bolts, probably. And then beyond that, there's a lot of video that some guys love to watch video, some guys don't. And so that's part of what I'll do, is kind of help those guys if they do want to, fine, and if they don't want to, that's fine also.
Jonathan Matthews going to be with the San Diego Padres this year at the big league level, and I think most people probably understand that kind of what's going on here. But it's not every day that somebody didn't play in the big leagues actually ends up coaching in the big leagues, let alone is it common to make the jump? It seems like this has happened pretty quick for you since getting back into pro ball, going from what would have been single A ball to the big leagues. Doesn't seem like a common thing to me, so this is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I guess it's scary. I don't know. It's somewhat uncommon, and that's what I told the general manager when I was interviewing with him. He said, because the Diamondbacks had some openings on their big league staff, and he said, "Johnny, did you interview for any of those?" I said, "No." And he said, "Why do you think that was?" And I said, "To be honest with you, I'd be an outside of the box hire. I don't come with 10 years of big league playing experience. I played a couple of years in the minor league, but I tried to learn along the way. The guy that's the manager now for the San Diego Padres was with us in the Diamondbacks system, and so we, had a good relationship. He told me he liked how my mind worked. He liked guys that viewed the game differently than he did, and so he wanted as many different sets of eyes on the game as he could get. And so, it's unusual. I don't have the major league pedigree, none of that. But at the same time, I think I have a skill set that he was looking for. And so that's why I think this is probably an opportunity that I, may or may not ever have again. So I thought I'd better take the chance.
So I would have to think that when this all played out, that it probably didn't take long before you called with your dad. What was his, was he like, "Oh, no way"? Or was he more like, "You son of a gun, I had to work my way up the ranks"?
A little bit. When I called and told him, I said, I just had a call from my boss at the Padres, asked for permission to, to talk to them about a job on their big league staff. He was, what? Couldn't believe it, kind of like I did. But then after talking to him about it, and he has given me a bunch of very good advice, because he's had success and somewhat of an underdog success story also. And so, the hard part about this, I'm gone, when I was in the minor leagues, I was gone from home enough, and this will be basically add 2 more months to that. Spring training's a little bit earlier. Major leagues have a 162 game schedule, so September adds a little bit to the season. So I had to weigh all of that, and he was very helpful in helping me decide, what's important. If you're going to take this chance, when is the best time to do it? And whether it would come up again or not. And so he's been a huge help.
Well, of course, his expertise is in the pitching and the minds of pitchers that he's been dealing with for all these years. You on the hitting side, are you able to get anything from him on what these crazy pitchers are actually thinking? Because pitchers are an odd breed, obviously.
They are an odd breed. And that's what, that's what, actually, I've had a lot of players tell me some of the best hitting advice they've gotten from pitching coaches, because they tell them this is what a pitcher's thinking right now. And you might think, pitchers are a nervous wreck, and guys don't realize that, and they think they're in control of the game, and some of them are. But for the most part, they're just as nervous as you are. And so I've had a lot of guys that tell me some of the best hitting advice they've ever gotten has been from pitching coaches. So yeah, when we get together, I'm always trying to figure out, when he's talking about pitchers, I'm always trying to figure out, how do I react to that from the offensive side of it.
We're talking baseball. Jonathan Matthews is going to be at the big league level with the San Diego Padres, and of course his dad Rick, a number of years at the big league level with the Colorado Rockies. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk to the old wise guy next year and see what he's up to these days and what his role is now going forward. And new adventure with Snap Fitness, and we'll talk about that and a little bit of baseball when we come back on Hy-Vee's The Pit.
Sales and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corridon is proud to be a part of the Pitch Sports Show. Give Sales and Associates a call today at 888-767-0239. That's 888-767-0239. Call them locally in Centerville at 856-3375. That's 856-3375. For all your insurance needs, call Sales and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corridon.
Hello, this is Billy Thomas of the Thomas Funeral Home. Have you considered the benefit of advanced funeral planning? To plan for your first car, your first home, your children's college, and your retirement, planning makes sense. Guaranteed pricing, peace of mind, and the alleviation of stress on your family are just a few of the benefits of advanced funeral planning. Please feel free to pick up the phone or stop by the funeral home with any questions regarding advanced funeral planning.
Call the Thomas Funeral Home at 856-8661 or visit them at 501 North 18th Street in Centerville. Chico Construction provides a complete line of excavating equipment for all your water, sewer, and building needs. Whether it be residential, commercial, or agricultural, Chico Construction can help. Serving Centerville and Southern Iowa for more than 40 years. Call Dave McCann at Chico Construction, 895-1980. That's Dave McCann at 895-1980. Chico Construction. For all your excavating needs, remember,
McCann can.
Hey everybody, it's Ocker the Broker with Ocker Realty in Centerville, located at 315 North 10th, just across from the post office. At Ocker Realty, we don't just list your house, we sell your house. We have innovative ways to make that happen. One of them being our virtual tours. Check out what we can do for you. Give us a call at 437-0500. That's 437-0500. Or call me on my cell at 641-895-0862. That's 895-0862. Ocker Realty in Centerville. Follow us home. Ocker Realty is an equal housing opportunity firm. Russ Ocker Broker.
This is The Pitch on KCOG Centerville. Coming up in just a little bit, we'll be taking our Hall of Fame challenge. And also, we're going to talk bowling. Coach Nick Howe is the head coach of the girls and boys bowling team, and he will be visiting with us. Chad, we've both seen this guy bowl, and when he bowls, he just lollygags the ball down. It barely gets down there. It barely gets down. When I would not want to be the pin on the other end of that thing coming down the line.
He kind of takes my philosophy when it comes to bowling. Just throw it as hard as you can, and hopefully you'll not come over.
I watched the 30 for 30 the other night on John Daly, Grip it, rip it, or whatever. That's kind of that. Yeah, that's the grip it, rip it version of bowling, I think. Throw it out there hard enough, something's going to happen. All right, let's talk more baseball. Rick Matthews now, a number of years in the big leagues with the Colorado Rockies. First of all, Rick, congratulations. I know you're very excited for Jonathan, but you also know kind of what he's in store for. It's got to be a grueling summer, especially when you're at the big league level.
Absolutely. Play 162 games in 183 days. Prior to that, you have about 45-day spring training that you're involved with. So you're involved in the game about 200 days out of the year, and it's a great lifestyle. Excuse me, but it's a very difficult lifestyle. Flights, you get in at 5 o'clock in the morning, play a night game that night. the new collective bargaining agreement has kind of taken care of some of the issues with scheduling. In the years to come, there won't be day games after night games on travel days. So that's kind of a good deal. But it's a grind, and it's a tough way.
We all think about, as all of us, I'm sure, sitting here at one point had aspirations of playing, whether it be Major League Baseball or NBA basketball or NFL football, whatever it is. It seems outstanding, but you talk about the grind on a coach, then you think about the grind on a player that's got to go out there and compete against the best of the world every single day, no matter how much you love the game. And that's what you talk about why teams don't repeat very often, and how great the Cubs appear to be. It's a difficult thing, I would think, than to come back and do it again next year. Just mentally, it's got to be unbelievable on the athletes.
It is in the game of baseball. When you win the World Championship, you just add one more month to your season. And that takes away the month of rest that the players need. It takes away 2 or 3 weeks of getting their conditioning started, because they have to have some downtime. And when you play up to November 1st, you've lost a month. And that's why I think it's really difficult for clubs to come back. That's why when Kansas City did it in 14 and 15, that was remarkable to come back in 15 and win the World Series after playing in 14. Ned did a phenomenal job of preparing his guys for that run. And the Cubs, it's going to be interesting to see how they do. As talented as they are, it'll be interesting to see how they do this year. So it's tough. Guys have to have time off to rest their bodies, because it is a grind. You play hard and you play every day, and it's a tough business.
So what is your role now with the Colorado Rockies? What will you be doing this?
Well, I'll go to spring training. They let me go to spring training. That's one of my negotiation deals. I go to spring training in uniform with the big league club, and then once spring training's over, I'll be out scouting all the amateur players, getting ready for the June draft. What I do is I'll get a list of maybe the top 100 pitching prospects, high school and college guys throughout the United States. And I try to see as many of those guys as I can. Last year I saw 83 out of the 100 guys, and that means I'm on the road all the time in an airplane, in a hotel, about every day in a different hotel, and on an airplane going someplace, and try to catch as many guys as you can doubled up, and save your body a little bit. But I do that through the June draft, and once the June draft's over, there's showcases all over the country. I go out and scout the Cape Cod League for 2 weeks, which has all the premier college players for the next year's draft. I do that for a couple of weeks, and go to the high school All-Star games in Wrigley and San Diego, Perfect Game and Under Armour All-Star games, and do those types of things in the summertime.
So you said here a couple of years ago, I remember at the Kansas City Royals, when they went to the World Series, the year they didn't win it, and we talked about you on the inside and seeing what the Royals had done, kind of sneaking up on the average fan, because we don't know about everything that's going on in the minor league. And I asked you who was next, and you said the Chicago Cubs in 2016 or 17 would be that team. Obviously, you had some knowledge, and you're correct. How impressed are you with Theo Epstein and what is he the best in the business?
He has to be one of the best right now in the business. He's been able to do it at 2 different cities, and whatever he's doing, it works. The Cubs are very talent-laden in the minor leagues. You could see it coming. It was a matter of getting a piece or two, and they put those pieces together. I think when they signed Lester, left-hand pitcher, when they signed him, that kind of put their pitching in a real good position. So their position players are very, very good, and they're very young. Addison Russell and Baez and Bryant, and now they got the young center fielder coming, Amora, and they just got a really good Contreras behind the plate. They got a really good team, and it's going to be good for a long time. And Schwarber didn't play this year. He was the darling the year before, and he didn't play this year because of an injury. So if anyone's going to repeat and make maybe a run at more than 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, they put themselves in that position. And now they've got Wade Davis to close the gates out, kind of helped them a little bit there. They were a little shallow there. They picked up Chapman, which was a great pickup, and got him over the hump. But now they got Davis, so they got a chance to do it for a period of time, I think.
Joe Madden, I think many people would consider one of the best managers in the game. He was questioned some with some of his decisions in the World Series. You, as a little more than just your average fan, did you scratch your head at all at some of those decisions in Game 6 and 7?
Oh, absolutely. Some of the things he did, I would say to myself, "What's going on here? What's this guy thinking?" But he has such a great rapport with these players, and players trust him in his decisions. And I think that's an extremely important thing, that the players trust him, and he was able to do it, and it worked out for him. Now, I think if you were to get him in a position where he could be truthful with you, you'd probably say, "No, I wouldn't do that again." But it worked for that period of time. I think using Chapman the way he did, he would probably rethink that. I think some of the pinch hit things and some of the things he did that way, he would probably reconsider. But it worked for him, and that's the most important thing at that level. At the big league level, it's win, baby, win, and they did. So winning takes care of a lot of things.
Did you, when he did the squeeze, Baez with 2 strikes, Smoltz on the air was talking about it. I said, "What's he talking about? He's out of his mind. There's no way anybody's going to squeeze here with 2 strikes." And then they did. Didn't work. But did you see that coming at all?
No, not with Baez. Maybe with somebody, but not with him. With his history of handling the bat, he's more of a free swinger, and he just lets that thing eat. And I was totally taken back by that. That was probably the biggest shock I saw in the World Series was that particular play. And at the time, I thought Joe didn't put that on. He just tried to do it on his own, but I guess he did. I thought the kid tried to do it on his own.
Tell us about the Rockies. They got some nice young ball players. This Arenado, your third baseman. You got a second baseman, Charlie Blackmon, and the shortstop. You guys have some pretty nice looking ball players at the major league level. What's things looking like at the lower levels?
We have a really good team positionally at the major league level, and we got a group of guys coming in the minor leagues also. We got a young guy named David Dahl that came up last year and played extremely well in the outfield. He's our number 1 pick about 4 or 5 years ago. We've got some young pitching prospects. A young guy named Hoffman that we got for Tulowitzki with Toronto. A young guy that we got with Jake McGee from Tampa Bay that I think surprised everyone. And so we got some young guys coming. Our pitching staff at the major league level is young, a little bit inexperienced. For us to compete in the West against the Dodgers and the Giants and the Diamondbacks and the Padres, our bullpen's got to get way better than it was last year. We got to find a closer. We got to have some guys in the middle of that bullpen that can get guys out. And I've said for years, every good team that wins and competes in October has what I call a mid-game closer. They got a guy that comes in the 6th inning and gets you out of a jam so you can get to your closer in the 9th inning. And I think the World Series this year, Terry Francona, when he brought Miller in the 5th inning, I was screaming in my house, and Mary Louise said, "What is wrong with you? You're an old man, you're screaming." I said, "I've screamed about this for years," and a guy finally did it. And I said, I love Francona. I've always liked Terry, but when he did that, that sets a new precedent. You watch now in the game of baseball, that'll be the next thing. And I learned that in 1993, and I'll never forget it from Don Zimmer. He told me that in 1993 in the dugout one day. You got to have a mid-game closer, because if you don't, you'll never get to your closer in the 9th inning. And in 1995, the Rockies had the best mid-game closer in the history of the game, and Steve Reed, and his numbers were unbelievable, and we used him, well, we about killed him, but used him all the time. Short season that year, we played 142 games, and he pitched 77 of them, so we used him on a regular basis, but he was good at it. So I think that's the next
staying in the bullpen, handling the bullpen. You got to have a guy in the middle of that game you trust to close the game out for you. Then, otherwise, you're going to lose it. I think if you go and look at numbers, and I've heard this number, that the team that's ahead after the sixth inning wins 58% of the time, I think is the number. So you better get through that sixth inning if you're going to win.
So in all your years down at the bullpen, there had to have been times or nights when obviously bullpens get worn thin, when you know you don't have much down there. Did you ever answer one of those phones and just say, no, thank you?
No, but I wanted to. I wanted to a few times. Sometimes you go down and you tell the guys, I don't know who it's going to be, but somebody's going to be the sacrificial lamb tonight. Somebody's going to have to. If we get in trouble early in the game, somebody's going to have to fight the bullet. And that's why you have minor leagues, because then the next day you can bring a guy up. That's why when you put a bullpen together, you got to have some guys there with flexibility. You got some young guys there that's got options left in their contract, so you can run them up back and forth and up and down from the big leagues to AAA. So when you do get beat up, you got a guy you can send out, bring a fresh guy up, and that's one of the keys to being a good general manager. You put yourself in that position. You've got your players figured out, so that I've got these two guys down here with option. If I need a guy tomorrow, I'll send him out tonight and bring that guy up tomorrow. I got a fresh arm in the bullpen. So there's a lot of little things that go on in the game and that's what makes the game so great. It's a thinking man's game.
Jonathan was talking about all of the information that's available to players now, and about the matrix you get about where you're going to play everybody in a series. You think about, I know you've been, you were a baseball guy long before any of this stuff. What do you think Willie Mays or Vince Mantle would think about that? Specifically, Willie Mays showing up and here's where you're going to play everybody. What do you think Willie would say?
I think those guys probably would have listened and then gone and done what they wanted to do, And I think there's probably some guys out there today. I doubt that Mike Trout pays too much attention what goes on with the metrics and the cybermetrics and all of that stuff. He's going to go out there and play, and he's a great talent. But I think that the guys also feel that if the information they're getting is going to make them better, make your team better, I think they're all in. And that's one of the things that I've told Jonathan, the players at the major league level respect people that work hard. They respect people that have information that's going to make them better. That's what they want. They want somebody there that's going to help them get better. And when Jonathan said that coaches are servants to the players, that's exactly what we are. That's what we are. We're there to serve them, to make them better, give them information to allow them to become big league players if you're in the minor leagues, or better big league players, or more successful big league players at the major league level. That's what our job is. The old adage that's been around for 100 years. Players don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And there's guys that have a tremendous amount of information that players don't listen to, because it's all about them, not about the player. So that's one of the things that I've always tried to impress on Jonathan or any of the young guys that I'm around, and that type of thing.
Any chance that you'll end up back at the big league level? Do you desire to do that yet, or are you content with where you're at?
Oh yeah, I don't. I'm old now, but I'd like to get back. Just to do it for a few more years. I loved it. I love the game. I love the. I love the competition. I love when I get up on Monday morning after Sunday. We either got a line on the left or a line on the right. Either we won or we lost. I love that. I love the competition of it. I love the excitement of it. What I do now, yeah, it's exciting. I follow the Rockies and I follow all of our minor league clubs, but I'm not there. I don't touch it, and that. I still miss that. But at my age, it'd have to be an extreme circumstance that I would ever get a chance to go back. But I'd jump on it in a heartbeat.
Well, now you're a fitness guru.
You can tell by looking at me.
So you and your family now are own and operate Snap Fitness. I don't think very many people saw that necessarily coming. But Is this have you lost your mind, or what? Tell us what led
Mary Louise thinks I have. Well, I'll tell you how this whole thing came about, and it was, I had 3 grandchildren that went there, and I saw so much progress in them because of Johnny Cochran, who's the general manager and head trainer there. And one day I was in there, and the guy, the previous general manager, said to me, "You should buy this." And I said, "Yeah, right." I'm like, I have no interest in that. Anyway, I saw the kids continue the growth and the growth and the growth and the growth, and I said, "Yeah, maybe I should buy this." And so I got in negotiations with them, the franchise, and I thought it was a good thing. I think I think the more youngsters that go in there and train with Johnny, and they're just going to get better. No question in my mind. I've seen it work for 2 of my grandkids who were stiff as a rock. They couldn't touch their toes, barely touch their knees. They're way more flexible, have greater core strength. They run faster now. Is some of it maturity? Probably. But the majority of it is what they've done out there. And I think that the general populace probably should be more involved in activity, particularly people my age. Should be more concerned about our health and what we eat and that type of thing, and exercise. So the last thing I wanted to see was it corporation just say, "Yeah, well, we're not doing well, we'll get out of here," or something like that. So that's why I got in it, and hopefully we can keep it going and provide a service to the people in the community, and I check and see who goes in. I have a little computer thing. I know who goes in and out the door, and I know, Russ, you go in. I know you were there this morning early working out.
Yeah.
I keep track of you. I got you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Something's got to give. It's going to be my belt if I don't.
I'm the only person in Centerville, probably. I shouldn't tell this, but I will. I've been a member for 5 years and never been on a machine. I'm not very smart.
All right. Okay. Before we do the Hall of Fame challenge, of course, you're inside the game. You know these guys. Pitching wise, Game 7 of the World Series, and you can have any 3 guys you want: starter, reliever, closer, and you can just pick from everybody. Who are you going to take to? Who's your starter? Who's your mid-game closer, as you say, and who's your closer?
Well, my starter is going to be Madison Bumgarner because I like his toughness. My closer probably going to be Chapman, and my mid-game guy is probably going to be Andrew Miller. I think if I run those 3 left-handers out there, that's going to negate a pretty good percentage of the hitters. Because there's a limited number at the major league level. There's a limited number of right-hand power hitters in today's game. Most of your dominant hitters are left-handed, and every club and every organization seeking right-hand power hitters. All you do is look at the trade market, the free agent market, with Encarnacion and Batista and Campo and all of the guys that are out there, all right-hand hitters, and but they got some age on them and some flaws. So those would be my guys.
I'd say you'd have a pretty good chance in that ball game. You may not even need anybody but Bumgarner. All right, it is time now. Before we let you guys go, thanks for stopping out, and congratulations again to Jonathan. Around here, everybody kind of always roots for their team and then the Rockies. So now I guess you're going to root for our team and then the Rockies and then the Padres. And we need to get some of you guys in the American League because with my Pirates and stuff. But okay, so here we go. Chad, Josh, Coach Hal's ready to go. It's Jonathan and Rick here. It's a baseball question. Okay, and you're going to have to. This certainly plays. You would think into the baseball guys' favors. David Ortiz, Coco Crisp, Marco Scudero, Gio Gonzalez, Michael Brantley, all have something in common. They all have kind of a baseball thing in common. At one point in their career, they were all this. Okay, At one point in their career, they were all this. I'd give you a little bit of clue. Think winter meetings. Think the end of July. See what you come up with. At one point in time, these guys were all this. They have this in common. We'll take a break. It's the Power Insurance Hall of Fame Challenge brought to you by Power Insurance of Moravia. Call 724-9000. I think Jerry Power he went to school with you, didn't he, Rick?
Yes, he was a year ahead of me.
Okay. Yeah, I thought. We're back right after this.
What is important to you right now? Is it your health? Is it your job? Is it your family? Perhaps it's your upcoming retirement or your lack of a plan to get to retirement. This is Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop in Centerville. Successful coaches always have a plan for their team and for the next ball game. In the financial game of life, you need a smart plan to protect your family and a smart plan for your retirement. For almost 30 years now, I have been helping people with life insurance and retirement plans with cash flow. It's critically important to have a plan financially for your family and for your retirement. I can help you with both. I'm Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop in Centerville.
Henley Dental in Centerville reminds you of the importance of taking good care of your teeth. You should have your teeth cleaned and examined every 6 months. Call Henley Dental in Centerville at 856-4103. That's 856-4103. Taking good care of your teeth can save you a lot of pain and a lot of money. At Henley Dental in Centerville, they offer a wide array of dental procedures. Call Henley Dental in Centerville at 856-4103. That's 856-4103. Henley Dental in Centerville. Only 10% of collision repair shops achieve I-CAR Gold Class standard, the highest training level recognized in the industry. RK Auto Body is proud to be one of them. We know the latest repair techniques, how to find hidden damage, and how to repair your car's critical safety features so they work properly again. We invest in training because we would never cut corners with your family's safety at stake. And neither should you. Get your vehicle repaired at RK Auto Body, where your safety is our top priority. RK Auto Body is located at 21317 Highway J46 Centerville, or call them at 641-856-2500.
This is the pitch on KCOG Centerville, taking our Hall of Fame Challenge. And the question, this was kind of a tough one tonight, I think. David Ortiz, Coco Chris, Marco Scudero, Gio Gonzalez, and Michael Brantley all have this in common. And I asked him to think about the winter meetings and the end of July, basically the trade deadline. All of these players, at one point in time, were the player to be named later, with David Ortiz being the most famous and most successful ever player to be named later. Did anybody come up with that? No. Okay. There you go. So we all went. So we go. Okay. All being traded. You had them all being traded, and they were. But all of these guys at one point in time were the players to be named later, with Ortiz being his wins above replacement is 46.1, and so he is the greatest ever player to be named later. But he was, as you talked about, David Arias at the time when he went from Seattle to Minnesota. So we have a tie here. So we're a win. Nobody got it. But and I don't think anybody would ever get this. But speaking of trades, this was when I was researching this a little bit. Harry Cheedy. You ever heard of Harry Cheedy?
No, I don't think I've heard that yet.
Okay, well, Harry Cheedy is the only player in history that was ever traded for himself. In 1962, Cheedy was traded from the Indians to the Mets for a player to be named. After 15 games of subpar numbers, the Mets named him the player to be named later and sending back to him. So he was the only guy ever in history who was actually traded for himself. So there you go. Remember that, and that'll come in handy on your trivia one of these days for Harry Cheedy. Guys, in the Christmas spirit, you're all winners tonight. So there you go. So next time, if anybody ever asks you who's the greatest player to be named later, you can tell them it was David Arias or David Ortiz. Either one of those would be correct. We'll grab a quick break. When we come back, Coach Nick Howell, talk bowling, guys. Thanks so much for stopping out. And we wish you all the best in what will be the February. You'll be out here before you know it. So thanks, guys. Yep, thank you. We're back right after this.
Sales and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corridon is proud to be a part of the Pitch Sports Show. Give Sales and Associates a call today at 888-767-0239. That's 888-767-0239. Call them locally in Centerville at 856-3375. That's 856-3375. For all your insurance needs, call Sales and Associates Cook Insurance in Centerville and Corydon.
Hello, this is Billy Thomas of the Thomas Funeral Home. Have you considered the benefit of advanced funeral planning? You plan for your first car, your first home, your children's college, and your retirement. Planning makes sense. Guaranteed pricing, peace of mind, and the alleviation of stress on your family are just a few of the benefits of advanced funeral planning. Please feel free to pick up the phone or stop by the funeral home with any questions regarding advanced funeral planning.
Call the Thomas Funeral Home at 856-8661 or visit them at 501 North 18th Street in Centerville. Chico Construction provides a complete line of excavating equipment for all your water, sewer, and building needs. Whether it be residential, commercial, or agricultural, Chico Construction can help. Serving Centerville and Southern Iowa for more than 40 years. Call Dave McCann at Chico Construction, 895-1980. That's Dave McCann at 895-1980. Chico Construction. For all your excavating needs, remember,
McCann can.
Hey everybody, it's Ocker the Broker with Ocker Realty in Centerville, located at 315 North 10th, just across from the post office. At Ocker Realty, we don't just list your house, we sell your house. We have innovative ways to make that happen. One of them being our virtual tours. Check out what we can do for you. Give us a call at 437-0500. That's 437-0500. Or call me on my cell at 641-895-0862. That's 895-0862. Ocker Realty in Centerville. Follow us home. Ocker Realty is an equal housing opportunity firm. Russ Ocker Broker.
Yep. Thank you. Listening to the bench on KCOD Centerville. Big thanks to Rick and Jonathan Matthews for stopping out. It's always, Chad, we're fans of sports, but we don't have the knowledge that you're going to have when you're inside the game. It's always fascinating to visit with either one of them, but especially with Rick and his years at big league level.
Oh yeah, he's one of those great baseball minds, and he's got a lot of stories. And we've been fortunate enough to grow up knowing Jonathan and knowing Rick, and he's pretty willing to tell some of the stories and some of the ones you probably can't tell on air. So we're pretty fortunate to have those two guys in our lives, and we wish them both the best of luck in all their endeavors.
It's time to talk bowling now. Coach Nick Howell stops out, first year for Coach Howell, but of course, bowling I know is something you've been doing for a number of years. First of all, you have to be pretty excited just to see that we have this sport now at CHS.
Yes, I'm very excited that we have this sport. I've been doing bowling junior bowling since I was about 7-8 years old. So still bowling to this day. I bowl in men's league on Tuesday night. So very excited. When I was given the opportunity to coach, I was overly filled with joy. I was like, this is awesome. I went and got my coaching certificate. I wanted to be a coach, and this was my first opportunity. And I'm like, wow, something I do all the time. I get a coach. So this is pretty awesome, actually. I love this.
Well, it's as you know, bowling, like golf or tennis, more so than any other sport. These kids can do this the rest of their life. It's a life sport, and obviously being able to get some knowledge right out of the chutes is a good thing for them. So, a lot of these kids are going to benefit for a lifetime from this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's leagues that the bowling alley offers throughout year-round. So, and they have open bowling on the weekends. They give us a pretty fair rate, which actually anywhere else you go, you're going to pay a lot more. So it's about $1.50 a game they give us. And the kids can go on Saturdays from 1 to 3, even Wednesdays after women's league if they want to. There's several days throughout the week they can bowl. And there's men's leagues, there's mixed leagues. So there's always an opportunity there to join and get more practice in, which is what they need. That's the more practice you get, the better you're going to be, just with any sport. So it's great opportunity.
Tell me about your kids. Let's start with the girls. How many do you have out this year?
We started with roughly about 36. We're down to 30 now.
30 girls?
No, not girls. Total.
Okay, let's start with the girls. How many girls do you have?
Girls, we have 14 right now. So we have a varsity team. The JV team I have, but we haven't been able to use them on any meets yet. There haven't been any other teams that have a JV girls team. I think most of the teams that we've bowled so far and probably what we'll bowl in the future, they won't have enough girls for a JV team. I can always mix the girls in with the JV team, the boys team, so I can have 3 boys, 3 girls, and so forth. But we got 14 great girls out and very competitive. So for the varsity girls, we have kind of a mix in class. We have a lot of young kids, but we also have a few seniors on there. With the varsity girls, we have Macy Brown, she's a freshman. Shaylin Brown, her sister, she's a sophomore. Letitia Mason, she's a sophomore. Michaela McCarl is a senior. Rachel Lawns, a sophomore. Courtney Ballinger is a senior. Haley Coffey is a sophomore, and Michaela Elam is a sophomore. So far this year for the girls varsity team, we're 1-3. First 2 meets we had Clark, and we went to Osceola. Boys and girls both lost that meet. Then the second meet we had was Osceola's at home. We all lost that one too. JV is undefeated though, so the girls are 1-3. This last week when we went up to Nottoway Valley, it's about 2.5-hour drive, kind of by Creston. I told all the kids, I got them in a group, and I said, hey, my goal is by the end of this week, we got 2 meets. Let's win them both. So into the break, 2-2. Feel good about ourselves and come back in the new year. And we got 6 more meets to go. And the girls lost at Nottoway Valley. It was very close. And then we came home to Lamoni, and the girls won, boys won, and JV won. So the boys are 2-2, the girls are 1-3, and the JV is 3-0. So far, a very successful season. Last year, from what I was told, we were 2-6. So we already got 2 wins under our belt. So we still got 6 meets. I'm very excited for the near future because we already got 2 wins under our belt, and we still got 6 more meets to go. So,
tell me about the boys then, the numbers. And I know you got on the boys' side, you do have a good senior anchor on there.
Yes, Daniel Thomas is our senior, tremendous bowler. He takes with great passion, puts in a lot of work, and we're going to miss him next year. But we got a lot of great kids on here. First of all, starting off with the varsity boys, we get Grant Hancock. He came out this year. He's a senior. He's done very well for us, helped us out tremendously. We got Matthew Wells, who he's a freshman. Dwight McNeil, he's a sophomore. Alex Collins is a junior. Daniel, like you said, he's a senior. We got Walker White as a freshman, and Roman Fleetner as a freshman. So we got a lot of young kids, which is good. Majority of our team is freshman and sophomore. So for the next couple of years, and hopefully next year we'll have some freshmen coming in. Our team's looking young, and they're getting a lot of experience in. So it's going to be good. As far as the girls' side, we got 2 seniors, Michaela McCarl and Courtney Ballinger. And then on the boys' side, we got Grant Hancock and Daniel Thomas. Those 4 kids we're going to miss next year, but they've been tremendous this year. The work they put in, the practices, they put a lot of good work in. So I'm very happy with the team so far up to this point.
Obviously, as a coach, you want to win all you can win. But from your perspective, I would assume for you, it's just maybe seeing those kids how they improve their scores throughout the season, and especially with young kids building for the future. So, are you seeing that the kids are improving?
Absolutely. From week 1 until now, the improvement is tremendous. I've seen so much improvement. The kids do really good at practice. They put in a lot of hard work. They listen. They're disciplined. And I've kind of started doing this after the last meet at Lamoni. I'm giving them 4 questions, and I'm breaking it down, and I'm just saying after the meet, I'm saying, did you show good sportsmanship? Yes or no? They're all going to say yes. They're all great kids. Did you try your best? Did you have fun? And were you competitive? And all of them say yes. And if the answer is yes, all 4 of those questions, I'm happy as a coach. Fortunately, you're going to lose some matches. Hopefully, we win a lot. But as long as kids are having fun and they're showing improvement throughout the year, I'm happy. That's all I can ask for. So, like I said, I'm so fortunate to have this position. We've got a great group of kids, and they've shown so much improvement this year. And I think in the near future, they're going to show even more. I mean, some of these kids are going to have 3 more years of this. So, hopefully by the time they're juniors, seniors, even next year maybe, we'll have a run at state and we'll be able to compete as far as a team or an individual. So,
how much will you guys be practicing during the break?
During the break, we will not have practices. Don, who is
the owner of the bowling alley. She's been very nice, very flexible. She will be open for practice if you just want to come in open bowl. Obviously, Christmas this weekend and New Year's next weekend, she won't be open on the weekends. But throughout the week, you can go in and practice. And I've told all the kids this. I've given them all the dates, times, and everything. So during break, we will not practice. I'll be out of town a lot. I think a lot of the kids will be out of town with families and stuff in the holidays. So I just kind of gave them a break. Through the first 4 meets, we've shown tremendous effort, and I'm happy. Like I said, 2-2 for the boys, 1-3 for the girls, and 3-0 for the JV. I'm happy. So give them a little break. A lot of them will go out and open bowl. They just love to do it. You know, a lot of them are freshmen, and they stay in a group of freshmen, and they bowl, and they go and open bowl here, somewhere, wherever. So I know a lot of them will go and practice, even though we don't have school practices, which is, as a coach, what could you ask for? You know, that's perfect. So, but yeah, through break, we won't have any practices. When we come back, we'll have a meet at Fairfield. It'll be in Fairfield. It'll be on a Saturday. So we'll have one practice in on that Thursday, but when we come back, and then we'll have that meet on Saturday in Fairfield, which will be a tough match. They were pretty good last year, and they look pretty good this year too. So,
Coach Nick Howe talking Big Red and Red at bowling, and we appreciate you stopping out. We look forward to hearing from you again. We'll get you on here probably right after the break to bring us up to date on how things are going. Then get you out here a few times through the season. What a great thing! We were so excited last year to have this as a sport. To see the numbers stay strong and kids getting to learn a sport that, like I say, they'll have with them for the rest of their lives. And some of these kids don't play a lot of other sports, so it's just awesome to see them out competing and experiencing the team aspect of it as well. So, Coach, thanks for stopping out tonight. We appreciate it. We look forward to visiting with you again real soon.
And thank you so much. One thing before we end, I just want to say to you guys, this is awesome what you do. Everybody that goes into this show, everybody's a part of it. We appreciate it a lot. Most of us have kids, brothers, sisters. We're at other events. So for you guys to keep us up to date, that's tremendous. So thumbs up to both of you guys or whoever's part of the show, everybody. It's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, Josh Price, before we wrap up for 2016, we got to talk a little bit about some of the highlights here. I made Chad take some notes. We definitely got to share them. So I guess we'll let ultimately it's your show. It's Hy-Vee's show. So give me a couple of your thoughts on the year for CHS.
You know, one came to mind, and mine's a little bit selfish. My highlight of this year was CHS, and that was when we went and we beat Albia at Albia for the Battle of Highway 5 trophy. You know, I never got to win that trophy, but Coach Evans was nice enough to let me carry that thing home. I get to sit it on my lap all the way home, and so that was definitely my highlight of 2016. That was a great moment.
All right, Chad.
Well, when you asked that, I kind of thinking back, and what the first thing that came to my mind was the football team making the playoffs for the first time, only the fifth time ever, and the first time since '09, I believe. The second thing that popped in my mind was the undefeated conference championship for the girls volleyball, and then the other thing that I thought of was the girls golf team making it to state and how they did at state. So those were the three that kind of popped into my mind looking back on this past year.
Outstanding. It's been a great year. I think about obviously the things, the bowling getting started 2015, 2016, and then the skeet shooting. It's the new sports that were introduced, and getting more kids involved with extracurricular activities is a wonderful thing. I think if I had to rank, the top 5 or so, we had a baseball team that made the district final. That was outstanding. A football team that made the playoffs, like I say, for only the 5th time ever. But I do think the top 2 moments were both on the girls' side. The girls' golf team making the state, I would probably have coming in at number 2 because that has happened before. But the conference championship for girls volleyball, the fact that has never happened in the history of this school, to have an outright conference title, probably is what I would rank as number 1. That was only 4. I don't know where the other one in the 5th in there would be, but if I had to go ranking, then those would definitely be the top 2. But it was a tremendous year for Centerville High School athletics, and I tell you what, the kids, until they get older, they probably never know what it means to the community, because when in a small community, there's nothing better than when great things happen for our kids. Even, you look at it now and you look at like Jonathan making it to the big. That's one of ours, and that's a proud moment. What Colton Gonerman's doing down there at pitching baseball for Missouri State. Michael Starsfitch pitching Division I baseball, and so many great athletes who have come through here and done things. But these kids, when they do things like that, there's nothing better than when they ring that victory belt, that we've done something special. So kudos to all of our student athletes, the band, anybody who participated in extracurricular activities. Thanks for getting out there and giving your best. That's going to do it for us for the pitch for 2016. A big thanks as always to Hy-Vee. We're back on January 4th, 2017. Hard to believe it. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Take care.